As we just heard from RDF spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, the Islamic jihadis are being blamed for this rocket that was fired at the hospital in Gaza. He's just been translating recordings from terrorists at the scene that confirms what he was saying. I'll bring in now Business Editor, Sky News Business Editor Ross Greenwood. Ross, your response to what we've just heard?
Well, this is really the importance of just being sensitive about information in this part of the world right now. Obviously, markets, economies can be affected. Remember that Joe Biden, the US president, was to go into a four-way meeting, including with the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. And also King Abdullah from Jordan was to host that meeting with the Egyptian leader as well. And this is now been cancelled as a result of this alleged attack on the hospital. Now, with the Israelis now refuting this, it does show just how sensitive it is, because quite clearly what the world does not now want is other Arab parties being brought into this war, that you have a broader Arab conflict, because that really becomes the worst nightmare, not just for the Western world, but for the whole world as well, and certainly for economies around the world, which are so sensitive to oil prices and so sensitive to the politics of that region.
Well, the Rear Admiral has just translated a recording from the terrorists with them saying, "Was that us?" I mean, that would seem to be a pretty clear nail in the coffin about where all this came from.
Yeah, well, it's important also that Israel provides as much evidence as it possibly can in regards to this allegation of an attack on a hospital, because that is so politically sensitive in that region right now. And this is a reason why you can hear the Rear Admiral being as forensic as he is and showing the photographic evidence that they have got to prove that the Israelis have not launched this attack. Because remember, this is much about the sympathies towards the Israelis in regards to the initial attack by Hamas, but then also it's about where the sympathies lie long-term in the Arab world that doesn't actually create an even bigger conflagration in that region and therefore the rest of the world.
Well, you talk about the consequences of misinformation being repeated. The Rear Admiral has just blamed the media, the international media, for repeating Hamas lies. I mean, what are the consequences of this kind of thing, given what we heard this morning versus what we have now heard?
Well, you've got to understand that Hamas probably would want the rest of the Arab world drawn into this conflict. And that is something that was a reason, really, why Joe Biden has gone there to speak with the other leaders of the Arab nations to make certain it does not expand. Now, many people are pessimistic as to whether that can succeed, but certainly that would also be something that would play into the hands of Iran, which has clearly been funding and helping Hamas in its attacks that it's taken so far. So, again, the sensitivity of the information, the sensitivity of the images is really all important right now. And there'll be more news, no doubt, about this as we go through the evening.
Indeed. Stay tuned to Sky News for all that coverage. Ross Greenwood, thank you for your time.